Hey guys, Eric Cogorno here with Performance Golf, and in today's video I've got a treat for you. I'm going to show you what I think is the best drill I've ever seen for you specifically to get your downswing dialed in and get that swing on autopilot, so when you go hit balls in play, you're going to get that consistent flush contact, get that high ball flight, get all the distance we want on command with some simple feels. I've been teaching golf for about 16 years now, and while some people have some different swing, pieces in there, a lot of us struggle with the same things. And if you're someone who struggles with contact, specifically with your irons and getting that ball launching how you want over and over, odds are that this drill is gonna really help you. I'm gonna show you what it is. I've got it set up here right away. Now, if we look at how I have these sticks set up, you'll notice I've got two alignment rods that we need to pay attention to. One of them is the blue alignment rod that I've got stuck in the ground, basically right over the golf ball line from down the line. And the second thing, I've got a club or a stick here on the ground by my toe line. And what I'm going to show you here in a minute on how to use this is all about getting your downswing in the slot, shallowed out, swinging from inside, so we can deliver the club head to the ball nicely from inside with an inside approach and a nice shallow angle of attack. If we look at great ball strikers, right, great iron strikers, and you notice a lot of the commonalities, what they do is they're able to get that club head to strike the ball first, the ground second, right, good solid contact, but they do that with a club head that's traveling into the golf ball from relatively low and inside. Now that's going to be able to hit the ball first, ground second, take a nice divot, but we're not digging in the ground a foot or so, right? I see a lot of players who struggle. We get the shaft too steep, so the club head's coming from high and outside. You would hit down, but maybe big divots that you're taking, and just your contact is inconsistent. We want to model good ball strikers, which means getting the club head from low and inside to the golf ball. That's the key here. Deliver the club head from low and inside. Now, how the heck do we do it? So the stick over the golf ball here as piece number one, I'm sort of looking at this as if there's a wall up over the golf ball. When I make a good golf swing, the club head should never, ever get outside the ball target line. That's just about the worst thing you could possibly do. When it's outside the ball target line, it's going to deliver into the ball from too far down and too far out to in. That's like pulls, fades, poor contact, loss of distance. Now, if that's true, that means the club head's always doing what? Staying inside the ball target line, all the way to the top, all the way back down, and all the way into the ball. Now, I've tried about a gazillion different drills with players to get them to do that exact thing, stay inside the ball target line. And I found this to be best, which is basically just put something in your way. If you put an alignment rod in the ground, get it over the golf ball, you'll notice the front of the alignment rod is about even with the back of the ball. And I've got that set up just above about a grip high. And you can angle it in like this, or you can put something level to the ground through a range bucket or something if you're on a mat, but have it about a grip above over the golf ball. And part number one before we get to the second piece is I want you to learn how to get the club underneath that to get into the golf ball. Now, if you're someone who's used to doing this and you're too steep and over the top, you would run into that stick. That club feels like it's really coming from low and inside. Almost like I'm sweeping the ball off the ground is going to be the sensation. I would start with something short if you haven't done this before. Pitching wedge, 9-iron, 8-iron's fine. And let's hit some shots, even without a ball, make some swings, and feel what it feels like to stay underneath this. This is a drill you can use in the range before you go play or in your practice forever. You can't get too good at this. This should launch the ball high and far with a nice shallow divot. So first things first, club head stays inside the ball target line, and it's delivered from low and inside underneath the stick. And that's about as good as I can hit my 8-iron here. Probably about a 5-yard draw, maybe just slightly left of the target. Very solid contact. I hit ball first, ground second, but a nice thin divot. You think about guys like Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, Greg Norman. They hit the ball up into the clouds, took just barely little divots with there, and still got the shaft length, but little tiny divots. That's what we're looking for. So I'm telling you, if you can get that skill, you're in business. But sometimes I put that in front of someone, they say, Eric, that's cool, I get it, but I need a little bit more. What am I supposed to feel? How do I get there? And that's where we get to the second part of this drill, which is what we call the 4 o'clock stick. So 4 o'clock means this. If I put the club in front of me at the golf ball, let's say that represents 12 o'clock. So I'm looking 12 o'clock forward here. That means 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. 3 would be about down my toe line, and 4 o'clock is just kind of inside of this. Now, what I want you to imagine from my player point of view is when I'm making my downswing, keeping the club head inside the ball target line, delivering the club head from low and inside, I want to feel like, for me, I want to see the club actually gets right over that 4 o'clock stick on the ground. So if I can get parallel to that from my point of view, or behind my hands, it makes it really easy from here to get that club underneath the stick. So most times, I'll combo this together. We'll do 1 or 2 practice swings, get a feel, hit a ball, right? That's how you want to rehearse this. So stick over the golf ball, about a grip above it. 4 o'clock stick, you can use a club on the ground for that, is fine as well. I've got the front of the stick just outside my trail foot, and then I've got it angled back at about 4 o'clock. I'm gonna go to the top of my swing. I'm gonna feel the club come down over 4, nice from inside, into the golf ball. You might feel like, if you're used to over the top, you might feel like your body doesn't open as much, your back might stay towards the target a little bit. You might feel your arms and hands getting that club from low and inside. That's all correct. That's all good stuff at this phase. So let's go ahead and try that with an 8-iron as well. Club head's delivered to the ball from shallow, nicely low and inside for a nice high, slight draw motion. And there's another really nice strike. Maybe a 5 to 7 yard draw, just barely slightly left of my target line. Very solid again. Ball first, ground second, but with a nice shallow divot. One little caveat when you're doing this, because this is gonna work really, really good if you work it, but you have to make sure your club face is set to go. What do I mean by that? If you normally make a swing and you struggle with contact and you're too steep, you would hit this stick here. Odds are, when you're swinging out to in, over the top, steep, left of the target, your club face is also too open. So you swing out to in and to the left, you hit some solid pulls that'll go straight left, you'll hit some fades back at the target, but as the clubs get longer, you probably overfade them to the right, right? That means you're out to in with the face open. So just a caveat, because imagine this. What do you say, Eric? Hey, I'm swinging from inside now, I'm getting shallow, but the ball's going 20 yards right. What the heck happened? Well, your old swing was out to in with a face open. Now your new swing is from inside, but guess what? The club face is still too far open. So I'm gonna hit to the right. So what does that mean? That means I have to make sure the club face gets square as well. How do I do that? 2 simple checkpoints. Checkpoint number 1 is you're getting the club over 4 o'clock and inside, just monitor the toe to heel. Okay, it needs to be at least right on top of it or slightly in front of it. And you can also monitor, and a lot of my players like to feel past the ball. So once I get to about parallel past the ball, again, the toe's got to be at least right on top of the heel or slightly in front of it. Okay, from face on, that would look like this. It's got to be at least here or this way. Now, how do I know I've done that correct? I hit the ball dead straight. How do I know I didn't do it enough? It still goes to the right. How do I know I did it too much? It goes too far to the left. How much am I supposed to do that? Do that to the point where you get the ball flight you want, fairly straight. Okay, so the club's down over 4. It's under the wall. And I'm gonna feel gentle, a gentle toe passing the heel. I'm looking for just a light little draw motion here. And there's the same thing, maybe 5 yard draw, solid contact, just barely left of my target, would have a nice birdie putt. This drill with an object over the ball is something I did at home in my garage when I first started playing for like 3 years. It is the thing for me that got me to swing the club from inside. And I've used this with literally thousands of students. I know it's gonna work for you as well if you work it. Any questions about this? Leave us a comment down below. If you have any friends who struggle with steep downswings and poor contact, share this video, click that little like button. Really helps us out. We appreciate you guys all watching.